Hey, out there in the cosmos and beyond. This is John, and I'm looking at Summon Something, the Ghost of OJ's project. And this is really special because his project, he's been doing it, from my understanding, for about 25 years or over 20 years, I think. And it's very personal to him. Each piece, all the pieces are very personal to him, I think. In fact, he told me a lot about the pieces, about some pieces, and he gave me a piece, or he sold me a piece for really a great price, and it's this piece right here. I think he knew I liked Stanley Kubrick and he liked Stanley Kubrick because there's another fellow or a couple other guys I thought were really like, they had a similar style to his. If I can find them, I think it's Clovis. I gotta look. Clovis and another fellow. I But the Ghost of OJ, I just know his stuff best of all. I've been looking at it for a little while now, just rummaging through. I can't find those other guys right now, but oh, maybe I can find them here. But his style, it reminds me of this artist that I read about. I think I read about it. Right, it was in some documentary. A reclusive artist who cut out images from magazines and newspapers and for people and pasted them onto a background that he painted. And I can't remember his name, but I have to figure it out. But it was very unique. And so when his art was made public, it was extraordinary for people, I think. So I've got to find these guys. Yeah, this Paul Ojeka and Cleophas. So these guys, I think, have a similar style to Summon Something. Oh, and sorry, Summon Something to the Ghost of OJ style. So here's the Summon Something 5 or Summon Something web X site. And but I was looking at the Ghost of OJ's X site before. So he said, like, he has a background in baseball, and he was into the Blue Jays, and I'm an airhead, so I can't remember everything. I think he lived in Toronto before, and I'm sorry, the Ghost of OJ, if I'm getting things wrong, but he lived in Vancouver for sure, or maybe he still lives in Vancouver now. But he inherited like a box of baseball cards of the Blue Jays, I think, and then he had the idea to use these baseball cards, as a way to express his feelings or his memories and things that he wanted to say, I guess. And everyone is like he's saying something, and it's really personal for him. So when you go to the Cosmos and you see something like the one I've got here, or any of these, I think they all mean something to him. Very much so. So it's not like a generative art NFT or anything like that, where I guess those mean something to the artist, but all 222 of these are, you know, handcrafted. It's amazing how much time and effort he's put into these and what they mean, you know. I would hope that someday he's going to make a book, like a directory, where he explains each one and says exactly what he thinks it means, you know. And it's interesting that he's into Kubrick, because I remember when the first time I watched 2001 Space Odyssey, like Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke, that was like their joint project, I think. So Arthur C. Clarke wrote the book and Kubrick made the movie, but when you watch the movie, or when I watched the movie at least, I had to use my imagination and, you know, guess what it meant, what things meant. Especially when he went through the monolith that was on Jupiter, or circling Jupiter or something like that, and went through that dimensional portal or whatever. Then I was really trying to guess things. But when you read the book, then it kind of gave you the instruction manual for how to think about the movie, you know. So it would be interesting for me to have, if I'm an NFT collector and I bought a piece, I thought it was really cool and I have my own imagination about what it means. And then the Ghost of OJ has some book that he's written that I can buy or download or whatever, and then I can look at my piece and I can see what he intended it to mean, or what it means to him, right? And that would be really cool, because I enjoyed that. I enjoy that about movies and books. If I watch the movie first sometimes and then read the book second, because then I can sometimes I can use my imagination to think of my own ideas of what it could mean, and then I see what the artist intended it to mean. So that's fun for me, I guess, or it was fun for me. I don't have time to do anything like that anymore, but whatever. So this is on Stargaze, but he has so many collections on Solana as well. And I guess recently he's come back from Solana to Stargaze. I think he said he started out doing stuff on Stargaze, and then he has recently refocused on Stargaze again. I'm not sure. But he was saying, like, you know, Stargaze is like the small town. I completely agree that it is very much a small town where you get to know everybody, you know. At least I'm just trying to get the property prices up, so the Californians can come in and pay us a lot of money, I guess, as my parents would say. And yeah, so on Solana, he has all these collections. And it's funny, when I read this, when I was a kid, the lady with the crystal ball told me to summon something, but my mother always said, "Be careful what you summon. Dare to take a peek behind the faces of these handmade collage baseball cards that you can use to open up portals to different realms. Don't delay. Collect these strange forbidden experiments today." So it has that, like, 1950s advertisement kind of thing in there, I think, you know. It's cool. But he's got so many. This one stuck out to me for some reason. And the rotten teeth one, not these. But, so he's got something too. Yeah, this one with these rotten teeth. I'm always worried about my teeth, like receding gums and all that stuff. And I'm like, I'm going to lose my teeth. So when I see the teeth, it always doesn't freak me out, but it kind of makes me feel my teeth, I guess. Like, look. Wow. Cool. So this has a soundtrack to it. That's awesome. Yeah, this is killer. Just how he got the claws around the eyes. This is really awesome. It kind of reminds, or I don't know, it just gives me a feeling of like a white zombie video or something like that, in a way. Or what am I listening to here? Oh, yeah, this is from the site. Okay, cool. Summon something 3. Right on. Yeah. Now here, when I look at this, I get the feeling of the Butthole Surfers, maybe, or something like that. It's pretty killer. I had a baseball card. I forget who it was. It's he was an Orioles guy, and it was an error card. And on the bottom of the handle of his baseball bat, it said "fuck face." And so that was like my prize card, that I got, that error card. I forget who the baseball player was, because I didn't even care. I just liked the fact that it said "fuck face" at the end of the baseball bat. Forget. I'll have to figure that out too. I want to interview the ghost of OJ. I want him to explain as much as he wants to explain uh, of what he explained to me in an X chat. We were looking at a lot of, or he showed me a lot of his work and explained the different pieces, but a lot of them were deeply personal, I thought, to him, so I wasn't sure if he wanted me to say anything about it or not, about those pieces or not, so I'm not going to do that right now. I want him to do that with me if he can. This is summon something 4 on Solana. He's really into baseball. He did say that he knows baseball very well, and that is a way for him to discuss things with other people. When he was younger, I guess he used baseball lingo. He could talk baseball, basically. And I have a friend who's just like that, John Sylvester, a good friend of our family, and he just loves to talk baseball, you know. be cool if the Ghost of OJ, John Sylvester, and myself had a little powwow and I could just listen to those guys talk baseball. I know so little about baseball. I used to play baseball when I was a kid, but I don't really talk baseball so much. But I love listening to baseball. Summon Something 5. Wow. Cool car. Hmm. Yeah, and the story about the Ghost of OJ. So he said that these works are created by OJ in the afterlife. Is OJ dead? I didn't think he was dead. But yeah, the Ghost of OJ. Amazing pieces, right? So, summon something. And if you go to the Necrovault in the underworld, where is it? You go to the vault. Raffles. Go to Raffles. You can pick, if you have a piece, a summon something piece. So I bought that summon something piece, and I'm earning, for that one piece, I'm getting 100 smile a day. That's this kind of in-game money. And you can buy a raffle box. So once I get up to 1,000 smile, I can enter this raffle, and I can win a Moon-based Dracula, or a Metamorphosis, or a Wolf Life, or a Clown's 9,000. And these are all pretty cool. I love Moon-based Dracula and Metamorphosis. I don't know Wolf Life so well, or Clown's 9,000 very well, but I know that if you have a Wolf Life, that you can enter other raffles with it and things like that. And I haven't really looked at the NFTs and the Clowns 9,000. I've only seen a little. I haven't really looked at it yet. So if you have a summon something, you can enter raffles. You get this in-game money. You can enter raffles. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Charlie Don't Surf, right? Apocalypse Now. It's just, what do you think? I get a feeling from this, but I don't know. It looks great. He was talking about how people wear masks to hide who they really are, and that this is all kind of unmasking people, maybe, or showing their masks. I'm not sure, but I get the idea. I know I always wear a mask all the time. Tributes to Summon Something, so Metamorphosis, tribute to Summon Something from Robin. So the Ghost of OJ, I mean, he's, a giant here, one of the giants. Hmm. Very Interesting. Batman. Etch-a-sketch. Yeah. He told me a little bit about his daughter's drawings, and it was fun to hear his story. I mean, he told me about his life, somewhat, you know, and it was fun. It was fun to listen to him. I mean, he's had a life, that's for sure. And I hope I can interview him. I hope that he can tell us everything that he would like to say, because he's got quite the story. I wonder if I saw this movie, like when the ants, those giant ants, like a 1950s movie. Hot dogs, baseball. Well, yeah. Pick up a summon something. It's history, I think. Who knows? One day you might be holding history. That's my guess. I think that a lot of this might be history. This is like all the French painters in the 1800s hobnobbing in their kind of obscurity. And then sometime later, it's like your grandkids or whatever will know that you were hanging around in this community. And it's pretty cool. Okay, I think that's all for now. Until I get to interview the ghost of OJ, I'm just going to leave it at this. Because, yeah, the pieces are just, I can't say much. I just think they're cool. Very neat. I want the ghost of OJ to speak about the pieces if possible. I'll just go through as many pieces as he'll allow me to go through. Okay. See ya.